I mean, say what you want about the prequels, but we had more arguments about how Anakin fell to the dark side apparently fast than we have about, his Lando straight. Like what's going on? Finally getting into it. It's a big day for Lando Han shippers. Oh my god, just the first sentence of the article. Lando Calrissian, one of Star Wars' most popular characters, recently reimagined by actor Donald Glover, is pansexual. Jonathan Kasdan, the co-writer on the upcoming solo Star Wars story, and son of legendary Star Wars writer Lawrence Kasdan, told Huffington Post that Lando is pansexual, meaning that he's not limited in sexual choice with regard to biological sex, gender, or gender identity, according to one definition.
What up, everybody in YouTube land? Today's video, it's not going to be about boxing. I will try to put out a boxing video a little bit later, but this is the topic that I really want to talk about. I watched a really good video that was done by the Fox Strikes. I will put a link in the description on the video that he did where he was saying that, does this now prove that the SJW agenda is being pushed in the Star Wars series? Now, I'll be frank with you, I'm not a big Star Wars enthusiast. I don't hate the movies. I've seen some of them and I don't think they're bad. I don't think they're terrible, but I just don't see it in the same light as many others do. I'm one of the people who kind of feels that Star Wars is a little bit overrated. Sorry, I almost said underrated. A little overrated. But that's just my opinion. I don't think that people who are really enthusiastic about Star Wars are stupid or they're wrong or anything like that. It's just a difference of opinion. I think Star Wars is a little overrated. It's just not my bag. Now, that being said, something that is my bag, something that really does interest me, is art. I'm an artist at heart. That's why I try to do the mockumentaries at the beginning of my videos. It's another way for me to express myself. It's another avenue for me, and it's something that I quite enjoy. Growing up, I've always drawn. When I got a little bit older, I dabbled into other things such as pottery, painting. I've done all different kinds of things when it comes to art. Another art form that I've delved into a little bit is singing. I like singing. It's something that I do on a quite frequent basis in front of groups of people. So it's not something that I just do in the shower. It's another art form. And when I sing songs that exist, I don't sing them the same exact way that they're sung. I try to put my own spin on it. I try to make it sound like a completely different song. Same words, just the style is going to be different. Because I'm an artist. And now I do YouTube videos, which is in itself can be another form of art. when you're not clickbaiting and race baiting and masturbating. Just kidding. But you get my point. If you do this for the right reasons and you put your own spin on things, it's a form of art. And where my interest in this whole thing with Star Wars comes into play is defending art. Art to me is a very sacred thing. It's something that is not to be intruded upon just because it hurts your fifis. If your feelings get hurt because of art, then that artist is not for you. And what I really don't understand is where this idea of everything needs to be all inclusive. Because everything doesn't need to be all inclusive. And what I mean by that is, I'm not saying that if you're gay or black or Muslim, and I use those in, for different reasons, but you see what I'm saying? If you are in a particular group, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be included in being able to enjoy someone's art. But what you need to understand is that person has a vision, and they have no obligation to you to have any representation of you. This is something that, to be honest, is quite new. The sense of entitlement that if this director and these writers make a movie and they have a certain vision, they owe it to you to put some representation of you in the movie. And that's just not the case. Back when Beethoven was writing music, nobody was saying, I'm gay. I need the Ninth Symphony to represent me. I need it to be for me. Nobody was saying that. Same goes for Hispanics, anybody of another religion. It's an art form. Just enjoy it for what it is. It doesn't need to be all about you. And some things are just not for certain people. But those people who are not, and really don't even have an interest in it, just want people to cater to them just so they can not support that art form. I listen to many different kinds of music. I mean, many. Now, I'll be honest, there's a couple genres of music that I'm not a big fan of. Believe it or not, I'd much rather listen to country than listen to techno or dance music or house music, whatever you want to call it. And I'm not a big fan of country either. But I can listen to country from time to time. I also like rap. I also like a little bit of pop. Not a whole lot. Pop is a bit too sweet for my taste. But there's some pop out there that I like. I'm into every spectrum of rock that you could think of, from the borderline hillbilly sounding stuff all the way up to the hardcore screamo stuff. I mean, and then everything in between. I'm into really a lot of different types of music. And I would never complain about a rapper or a band that they aren't making music to cater to me, because it's an art form. They are expressing themselves. I mean, if you just take a look at the very definition of art, it's the expression or application of human creative skill and imagination, typically in the visual form such as painting or sculpture, producing works to be appreciated primarily for their beauty or emotional power. And according to that definition, it says nothing about catering to other people's feelings. It's my expression. And if my expression is not for you, that's perfectly fine. You don't really have to complain about it. Or you could. I mean, that's your right, actually. But what is not your right is to try to strong arm me into changing my creative vision to suit your agenda. That is not in the agreement between the creator and the person who is consuming the creation. You have a choice. If you feel that you have to have homosexual representation in a movie, show, or music in order to enjoy it, then you need to find an artist who does that. Don't make other artists feel guilty because their creative vision isn't for you. Or you could try this. You can try being an artist who makes it. And in 2018, there's really no excuse because there is something for everyone out there. And not only that, but I mean, like I said, I'm not a big Star Wars fan, but when has it ever been about the sexual orientation about the characters? Any romance was always a secondary thing in these movies. It's never been the main focus. It's not Twilight, where the main focus is on a romance in the story. It's completely secondary in Star Wars. People need to grow up. People need to understand that artists don't owe you anything. And you don't owe the artist anything. It's very simple to capitalism. If you don't like the product, don't partake in it. Do not support it. Go find a product that you do like. That way you can support that product. And whether everybody else finds that product popular is irrelevant. It's just like here in the boxing community, which is what my channel is mainly based on, is boxing. Who cares if nobody is giving credit to your fighter? You give them credit. And if they're truly that good, they're going to make it. Same thing in art. But people just want to push their narrative and strong arm people into feeling guilty or feeling empowered, depending on who they're speaking with, to try to get them to support what they want them to support. Like Ghazi. That's the person who I used in the beginning of one of my videos saying all white people are racist. They get the same narrative out of blacks and whites. They just go about it a different way. Just so they can push their agenda. Because trust me, Ghazi says all white people are racist, but he got some white people in his videos. The thing is, they're there agreeing with him and saying that they should pay reparations. And that's a topic for a completely different video that I will probably never make, to be honest. Or who knows, maybe I will. But when it comes to art, I defend art. If Lucas' vision for Lando never had anything to do with his sexual orientation, or that he was straight, why are we going to make him pansexual now? Just because? Well, it's not just because. It's because there is an agenda that's being pushed. And when it comes to art, and video games has the same problem as well. Far Cry 5 was heavily criticized because people wanted it to make a political statement. It's a game. Who gives a shit? As long as it's fun, as long as people are enjoying it, and it's not hurting anybody, then who cares? If you want a game that has heavy political views, then you either need to support a developer who is making that game, or you can, like I said, try being an artist yourself and make it yourself. Same thing with music, movies. Nobody was going and complaining about the Mona Lisa because she didn't look like a dyke. That's just real talk. But anyways, I know this is a little bit of a different video than what I normally make. I just want people to understand what art is and what the relationship is between the artist and the person enjoying the art. Neither owe either anything. Because at the end of the day, if the artist truly enjoys what they're doing, they're not really caring who enjoys it. Don't get me wrong, they appreciate that other people appreciate their art. But really, to be honest, when I was drawing and painting, I never did it saying, I can't wait to see what people are going to say. I was like, I was either happy with what I was doing or I wasn't. If I wasn't, I would either make the proper adjustments or I would just stop altogether, start from scratch. What other people felt about it, not to be arrogant or an asshole, just didn't mean shit to me. But to all my subscribers, anybody watching my videos, or if you just so happen to stump on this video, hope you have a wonderful and blessed day. Peace.
Undefeated. Undefeated.